1.
Boom. It's the Social Sports Hour. We are back. Full gang together today. Patrick Cass and Josh Klein producing.
Let's go.
We got Dave Kline calling in.
Special guest.
Let's go. With the haircut.
Big deal.
With the
Big
haircut.
deal.
This is great. It's the first time I've seen Dave Kline with the hair. That looks great. Anyway,
I'm going the exact opposite of you guys.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
That is pretty true. I don't want to say I told you so, but guess what? The show told you so because we both picked the Buccaneers and they put a smackdown on Sunday night.
Yes.
No, I mean, wait, you called the Chiefs dad. Is that what you're saying?
Well, no, I didn't. I wanted Tampa Bay to win just because anytime an AFC team can go down, that makes me happy. But
yeah,
I mean, the game is. Listen, if it was any other team on the other side of the sideline from Tampa Bay playing Tampa Bay yesterday, let's say they were playing the Broncos, for example, just some everyone would have said this game is a complete blowout, even starting the second half. They're like, there's no way this. I mean, it was just the score was a blowout score, but everybody's like, oh, but it's Mahomes. This is what he does. He's going to come back, but that first half, Mahomes had nothing for the Buccaneers defense. And listen, let's pause on Tom Brady for a second because the star of the game was the Buccaneers defense. They
100%
showed up and they came in with a scheme and, listen, good coordinators given I got one game to win. I'm going to focus on this opponent and what they do well, what they don't do well, and I'm going to take away what they do well from them. And they took away the deep ball. They had a lot of mid-level stuff, like Kelsey, got a few balls, but they Hill was a no-show the whole game. Watkins, no-show the whole game. And it forced pressure on Mahomes because they basically said, like, you have a depleted offensive line. We have a stud defensive line. We're going to keep our safeties back. We're just going to manhandle you up front, put pressure on you naturally, the old school method, and force you to run around like, you have no idea what's going on. I mean, it actually looked like at one point, like Kansas City had a play in their playbook where Mahomes would drop back 20 yards, spin around 5 times, go to the sideline, spin around, come back, and throw it sidearm. Like that, he did that so much, it looked like a play in Kansas City's play.
Listen, it was definitely a great performance by the Bucs defense, but I am very upset with the Chiefs offense. We know, Dave Kline knows, he sets up a FanDuel every week. And every week, the first week, I'm just going to say, everyone knows this, the first week, I won. But Did I get any money for that? No, I did not. I was supposed to win $200. I did not win any money.
It's true.
It's not my fault.
And every single week after that, I'm like, okay, well, I got to enter now, and I got to put my money out there. And every single week, it's the same story. My team goes out there and it absolutely trash. And last night, I was like, listen, I'm just going to throw random people in the lineup because at this point, I don't even know.
How bad did you do?
I mean, not great.
But here's the funny thing. So listen to this. The guy that won was the only guy that did not have Patrick Mahomes on his roster.
I didn't have Patrick Mahomes on my roster, so that's actually false.
Really? You had him? Well, then listen, then that's on you because not having Mahomes is why that guy won. Because
I didn't have him, and I still did very bad. But
okay, well then, listen, you're the outlier on that one because I was texting the guy that won, and I basically, he was in a million other FanDuels, and this was kind of like the combination, and he figured like, hey, if everyone's going to go with having Mahomes and Brady on their roster, and because most people did that, with the exception of Josh, everyone was waiting for points to come from Mahomes. They never came. And so he was sitting on points from some other guy that he put in the number 2 slot, who he put
Leonard
Fournette. So
Fournette,
Fournette was
yeah.
getting 1.5 points, and Mahomes Brady got 2 points, so it was great. But
See,
I have to go back and look at your roster.
The issue was for me, and the primary issue was I got a little too much on the bandwagon of Scotty Miller.
You really did. -3 yards yesterday.
So Scotty Miller did not help my team. I am no longer a Scotty Miller fan.
Wait a minute. I had Scotty Miller, and I came in 3rd.
Yeah,
well,
but
then maybe you could have won if you didn't have Scotty Miller.
I also had a Chiefs receiver and Chris Godwin. So
I had Tyreek Hill.
I just didn't have the right guy. I don't know what to say here. It wasn't great, but I still am salty about week 1, and I will say this next year.
Wait a minute. Who paid for your last 3 weeks?
I know, but I still imagine.
No.
Yeah,
it's been the last 3 weeks.
I'm sorry. I'm trying my best out here.
I'm a good dad.
I'm trying my best.
I don't want my son to gamble, and so
I get a lot of
money.
Listen, I get a lot of heat at Regent for playing FanDuel. Not that much heat.
Not even your money.
People give me
You're
so much
basically
heat.
paying. Yeah.
But it is what it is. I will say this: if I was betting yesterday, I actually would have done really well. I wrote down my bets beforehand, and I was like, if I was a betting man, here's what I would put down. I hit a lot. I said heads on the coin toss. I said not a touchback. I said Bucks +3, and I said Gronk to score a touchdown. Those are mine.
That actually would have been really good.
So
listen, Tom Brady threw a touchdown to everyone that he recruited to come in there, or everyone that he recruited got a touchdown because he didn't throw the one to Fournette. But listen,
Fournette got that one that he rushed for, but yeah.
Right.
And then the funny thing is they got stopped on that 4th and 1, and that should have been more points. I mean, it was just like Kansas City came in not really prepared, and there's a lot of things. Like, I know they had injuries on the offensive line. I listened to everybody today kind of break that down. I think that is probably a pretty big deal because
it was a huge deal.
Yeah,
they shuffled players around, and
but you got a game plan.
You don't want to do that in the Super Bowl. Like, you rather just change one cog than move around 4, and no one feels settled. So the Buccaneers totally exploited that. Then you have the whole Andy Reid kid thing, getting in a car accident with the girl. Like, that's got to be an emotional drain. Like, that happened Friday. It's not like it happened. So that's raw. Yeah. And then, Mahomes, he did not look comfortable, even though he eluded a lot of sacks. He just never looked comfortable back there. They made it hard for him. He didn't have, listen, I've watched, and the funniest tweet of the night was from Marlon Humphreys when he said, "Where was this Chiefs team when we played them the last 3 years?" Well, they were still the same team, but the Buccaneers knew what to do with Mahomes. And I always said this: the Chiefs, what they do well on offense is they can exploit your blitz, because once you blitz, you're pulling somebody in the secondary in, or somebody else is coming in, and they do a great job of exploiting that. But when you don't blitz and you can get that same pressure, that's where they succeeded, because now Mahomes is looking. He doesn't have the quick out. He only had Kelsey, a few times, but the guy that was marking Kelsey, was it 54? That guy was all over him all night. He made it very hard for Kelsey to get the catches that he did, because he was knocking down passes. So the Chiefs had, they had a lot of stuff against them, but they came into that. They didn't have a great game plan, and their game plan obviously was trumped by whatever the Buccaneers' game plan was, because they exploited every single weakness, and they forced the Mahomes to play their game, and they had nothing for him.
This was one of the first times that the Chiefs didn't necessarily. The Chiefs lost this game. Like, weird stuff didn't happen. Like, they flat out got outplayed, and that was the first time this has really happened with Patrick Mahomes on their team.
Yeah. Now, Dad, I have one question. I know you only have a few, minutes here with us, and we appreciate you coming on the show.
Yeah,
So I want to know. I mean, next year, like way too early prediction.
Exactly. Let's hear
way
it.
too early prediction. Is Tom Brady going to be back in the game because he said he was?
Well, he's coming back, and listen, here's what they've set themselves up for. Bruce Arians is I don't know how great of a coach he is, but what they have
he basically said let
great
Tom Brady
defensive
coach.
coordinator, up and comer offensive coordinator who and what they do is they put in really a lot of last minute pieces. Now, if you remember, like Gronk wasn't really anything during the season. He didn't move the needle that much.
Right.
He started playing, better, but the team gelled after that bye. They didn't lose a game. They were 7-5 at one point. They went on a 3-game losing streak, I think. So they didn't, no one had a real off season. So you kind of got to that's a wash across the board. You can't say anything, but it is that reps with the same team, like getting, gel and figuring out who you are. I watched Tom Brady after that game. He seems to genuinely like this team. He seems to genuinely be appreciative of, the guys and the effort, and they came together when it mattered. And you could see like his leadership. Like I heard stories about he texted the whole team all week about, just encouraging those guys, just little things like that other teams don't do. What he's done is he's created a great landing spot for other free agents.
He changed the culture so fast. It's insane.
He did. And which I don't even know what the culture was last year.
Right.
It wasn't this.
Winston's team, man. That was
Winston,
a good team.
Throw, just chucking it wherever. And
Saints should start him.
He's created a leadership. He's created a culture around his leadership. I think that that defense, I don't know who they lose, but man, dude, Todd Bowles is not going to be a head coach anywhere this year unless somebody changes gears at the last minute. But you're bringing that whole crew back next year.
Yeah. You pay Patrick Mahomes. Don't forget about that. Every year he's going to be starting to make a little bit more money.
Right.
The way his contract's set up, they're going to have. Yeah. They got to pay these people. I mean, listen. So basically,
somebody's going to overpay. Somebody's going to overpay for Tyreek Hill 1 year, or Travis Kelce, or somebody. He's going to start losing big, cogs to that machine.
Exactly.
And I really think the AFC, if you look at the young quarterbacks in the AFC compared to the old quarterbacks in the NFC, it just, even though you classify Brady as an old quarterback, but he's a different old. Like Breeze is gone. Rodgers, they can't get over the hump, no matter what they do to change the environment there. But now maybe the AFC teams, they just don't play with a lot of confidence against Kansas City. Somebody's got to get over that hump now. Somebody's got to, it could be the same too next year, possibly.
Yeah,
a lot of things happen. If I was betting it, like if he had to give me, hey, who are the two best teams going into next year? I probably would put Kansas City as the best team in the AFC still, with some people, close behind. Like I think Buffalo is going to be better next year because they seem to be young team on the come.
Right.
Baltimore's always an unknown. Like, okay, they, maybe this is the year they get over that hump and Lamar figures out the passing game a little bit more. We got young quarterbacks coming in the league, but if I look at the NFC, I go, well, Seattle with Wilson could be something, but they're such really like their supporting cast is not that great right now. They got to make some changes.
Yeah.
Get tighter. I would say, Tampa Bay just looks like they've just, they were kind of humming along. I didn't even pick them to make the playoffs. They were humming along, and now all of a sudden they just went into another gear, which great teams can do, and they got that foundation. So I wouldn't bet against them.
No,
and it's ridiculous.
Bucks are, so summarize what you're saying. Bucks, great. Chiefs,
I told you I had 5 minutes.
Chiefs,
I get a lot of words out
Chiefs,
in 5
great,
minutes.
but also they're the new Seahawks. Win a Super Bowl, go back, lose to Tom Brady, and then they're probably never gonna be
a
super
curse.
relevant ever again. And then but if you're a betting man, Chiefs still number one in the
Look,
AFC.
Chiefs, Bucks, you look at them, obviously
Yeah.
probably recency bias, but you say, hey, they're the best two teams.
Yeah, Packers I think are very close behind though. I think the Packers are like a couple pieces away from being pretty good. Aaron Rodgers is pretty good at football. But
well, I mean, he's got to play good when it means, when it counts the most to play good.
Very true. Very true. Well, listen, thank you, Dad, for coming on.
We
always appreciate your takes. Listen, you turned 5 minutes into 15 minutes, and we appreciate that.
We do.
And so
I'm filler. I'm giving you guys some filler.
Well, we don't even. Well, to be fair, we got so much content we got to go through. I mean, it's the day after the Super Bowl. There's a chance that we could be talking about this Super Bowl for till the next year, because I don't really want to talk about the NBA other than LaMelo Ball. So,
All right. Get back to school.
Anyway, yeah. See ya. Thanks. Thank you.
Later.
Dave Kline. Wow.
Boom.
Always
Dave Kline out just like that.
To have him on the show. The guy who.
Yeah, it's great. Seriously. Thank you, Dave. He did get a lot of words in there.
He did. I was just like, you know what? He hasn't been on the show in a while.
No, he hasn't.
And so I was like, hey, I'm just gonna let's let you do your thing.
Right.
How do I now? I'm sorry. I'm reconfiguring
Producer
I'm
stuff going on in the
getting it
background.
back on. It's just on me. And wait. You're almost there. You're almost there. And boom. Congratulations, Patrick's back on the screen.
Let's go. So, Josh, I think there's a couple things that we got to dive into. I know we got to go to some of the memes popping out of this.
There's so many, and can you blame the internet for doing what the internet does? Okay.
I mean, I'm assuming you got to have the weekend in there.
The weekend, and let me tell you, that's the first place that we're gonna start. I'm just gonna show. We have a compilation of some of the best weekend memes that popped out from this. So, first we got here. My mom looking for me after I forgot to defrost the chicken before she got home from work.
That happens.
We got, classic. Me after losing my mom at the grocery store. We've all been there. Walking around confused. You don't know what's happening. My food sees in the microwave. So true. Me looking for that $2,000 check that the government owes me. People said that.
Just hasn't come. Right. Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes trying to get through the Bucks defense, or Patrick Mahomes trying to get through the Bucks defensive line all night. It's very different, very accurate looking.
Yeah.
If I had to say, I'm just scrolling through these for the viewers, but basically what we got is we have just so many. We got ones about Patrick Mahomes. We got, my favorite, this is one of my favorites. It's a classic. It's an all-time classic. It's the Chiefs Super Bowl highlight reel. Let's go. Very, very just good. Very, we really, it really was accurate. I don't know if you've seen that one. But I wish you could see the screen to see what word I wish you could see what I'm describing, but the viewers get it and the viewers know.
Well, Josh, you got to look it up to basically sum it up. Last night, the Chiefs were just not there. They were not in this game. The Bucks manhandled them. The Chiefs didn't seem like they made a whole lot of adjustments to try to counter what the Bucks defense was doing. Patrick Mahomes had no help. And yes, I will say, look, we do get on Pat Mahomes here. He is a very good player. He's an MVP for a reason. He's the future of the league. He made some incredible plays last night that were incompletions, but he bought time. He was scrambling for his life.
Ran 500 yards, that man did. You ever run 500 yards? It's a lot of work.
Not like that. Especially not in a Super Bowl.
Imagine 500 yards, but you're being chased by a man who's trying to kill you.
Ndamukong Suh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No,
also, shout out
to
the streaker that made it on the field.
Big shout out. Did you hear who
Kevin Harlan's?
Yes, call.
Yes.
Unbelievable. That's an incredible move. I mean, he caught it so good, by the way.
He did. It was perfect. It was perfect.
It was really perfect. And yeah, I mean, props to him. He's never going to be able to watch an NFL game in the rest of his life, probably.
Right.
In person. But he got his 15 minutes of fame, man. Hey, maybe went to jail. Who knows?
People questioning in all of the Super Bowls to ever make it on the field. How did he make it on the field in this one when there's only like 25,000 fans?
I think maybe it was easier with 25,000 fans. Maybe like,
could he have disguised as a cardboard cutout?
That's something that no people. That's the one thing. The media is going to cover a lot of things today with the Super Bowl, and as a small show, we're just probably going to be white noise. But what I will say is this: not enough people are going to be talking about the fact that the streaker might have disguised himself as a cardboard cutout to be able to get on the field, and I think that's important.
That could have happened. The amount of cardboard cutouts that were in that stadium was borderline ridiculous.
A lot of, and by the way, some of them, I mean, I thought they were just regular fans at first. I was like, hey, good for us, And so, yeah, 100% right. But listen, the story of that game is Dave Kline summarized it a lot. But the thing is, everybody knew what was going to happen. Deep down, everyone knew.
Tom Brady.
Brady, man.
Tom Brady.
There's a guy. Listen, I heard everyone talking about they wanted to bet on the Chiefs, right? They're like, Chiefs are a better team, -3. And I'm sitting there like, now granted, the money was on the Bucs, but there's a lot of people I hear like saying ridiculous. Why the Chiefs seem like a no-brainer? Guys, there's a man out there who has won 6 Super Bowls already. He's been there 6 times. Why are you going to go against that guy?
Well, actually, he had been there 9 times, won 6.
I know, that's what I'm saying. He won 6 times. He's now won 70% of the Super Bowls he's played in.
Insane.
Patrick Mahomes has only won 50%.
He really has.
So, I mean, Joe Flacco's won 100%, but we're not going to talk about that.
True. Not going to go there with an elite quarterback.
Yes, but I mean, listen, it's so true. I think the Bucs didn't ever or the Chiefs never had a chance. Bucs did great, and now they're going to be good for the next 76 years. By the way, the wheel was right again.
It was. The wheel has never failed us.
Never failed us. It has been right 100% of the time. That wheel. I mean, we spun the wheel, and people were probably like, "Come on, Patrick Mahomes."
Also, they're like, why are you letting the wheel decide it? Well, no, the wheel was right.
The wheel was right. I said it spun around. It went to all the diverse different options and landed on Tom Brady as the Super Bowl MVP. So, not only was he going to win it, it predicted that he was going to be the MVP. So
right, it did, and it got that right.
It's insane. Our wheel has been very, very good to us. But yeah, man, my FanDuel team, not good.
Right. Now, Josh, one last thing I kind of want to cover, okay?
We have
one last thing, and then we'll wrap it up here for this show, post-Super Bowl show.
We're going to be talking about the Super Bowl probably the next, 17 episodes.
Right, exactly.
So we got plenty of time.
Brittany soon to be, I'm assuming, Brittany Mahomes.
Brady Mahomes. Maybe she's going to be progressive. Not, he's going to take her last name. Who knows?
And that's fine. That's fine. I don't know what her last name is, so I'm just going to call her Brittany Mahomes.
Brittany
no disrespect to her.
No disrespect.
Right.
Yeah.
She sounded like a very spoiled, selfish loser last night. And look, I don't want anybody to go after her. I don't want to be the person that's always going after her or Mahomes' family. I don't want to be like that.
You don't want to be that guy.
She's tweeting out, ESPN, why are you showing bad photos of Patrick Mahomes? Like the photos of him dazed. Like, come on. That was the most spoiled answer I've ever heard because Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs have been so good for so long. He has one bad game, and it's the Super Bowl, and you're going to get on them for posting a bad picture of him? No, Brittany. No, that's not the point of this, okay? You could be super nice, but listen, it sounds like such a spoiled answer.
Newsflash. Those photos are the reason that Patrick Mahomes makes $500 million. The media is the reason
they love him.
Listen, if the NFL makes money because people want to watch the NFL, and people watch because of the media. And if the media wants to post photos of you're getting sacked and just in general of the game, well, guess what? You let it happen. You know why? Because they pay your bills. You know those. So like those the TV contracts pay your bills.
Right. And like, I don't want to come after Brittany necessarily, so to say, but like, I'm
like,
kind of coming
come
after
on,
Brittany
man.
to say, hey, wake up.
Wake up,
this is something
man.
that happens. You guys aren't the golden, family
Yeah,
of the league.
The Brady's are the family.
Oh, well,
Everyone
okay,
knows.
You can make that argument. but the point is like, come on, you guys lost. Take the loss.
Take the loss. Yeah, I think a lot of fans are very happy to see that Patrick Mahomes' brother did not get to enjoy a Super Bowl victory last night.
I will say, I believe Jackson handled it well.
Did he really?
I believe he did, and props to him. I respect him so much for that, not going on and being,
Yeah.
It seemed like he handled it very well. So shout out to Jackson.
You know who didn't though? You know who didn't handle? A guy for the Chiefs named Tyrann Mathieu.
Tyrann Mathieu. Who?
Tyrann Mathieu, man. Whew. I mean, let me tell you about that guy coming out here saying, "Hey, I'm not gonna comment on it." While he comments on it, very confusing.
Now, apparently per source, Tom Brady did reach out to Tyrann Mathieu to apologize, but at the same time, Tyrann, you gotta be smarter. You can't wake the goat.
Are you about to go up against? Yeah, you gotta. Are you gonna really try to go against Tom Brady in anything in life? By the way, like if Tom Brady started head-to-head competing with the Social Sports Hour and he started his own podcast called the Brady Sports or anything, I would just say, okay, hey man, I'll find something new to do in life. They have a good time. Don't go against Tom Brady in anything. He's gonna win. That's what he does. And so Tyrann Mathieu, and then the fact he included the stuff about the comments, like if they're true, that sucks, but also if they're not true, that just looks bad for you. I don't know.
Right. Because at this point, it's like a he said kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where and I don't think anybody's gonna know what happened, and also how bad was it? We don't even know. Do you believe Tyrann Mathieu? We have no clue. But with that being said, the Bucs come out victorious.
Yes, sir.
And we told you.
We did say it. I said it. We said it. And I think that's a perfect place to wrap the show up because.
Exactly.
Hey, guess what, everybody? Guess what? We were right. We've been right pretty consistently on this show.
Boom.
And you say, hey guys, you don't bring stats to the table. You just go blindly shooting your shot and just everything.
No.
Guess what, guys? Patrick might use stats. I don't. I go
base. Effort is put into this because this is a professional show.
You're right. We're a professional show, and we know exactly. Listen, we got wheels predicting future events. We're basically the Simpsons over here. We got segments with takes that end up being true.
Right.
Our overreactions are regular reactions because they're accurate.
They're just reactions. That's what you get from us.
And so thank you to everyone who's subscribed or done anything to support the show. Make sure you guys like this video. Tell your friends. Share the link. Who knows? If you're listening on Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, we appreciate you guys listening with us. But we also offer a visual on YouTube. So make sure you guys go check us out there. And hope that Super Bowl was everything you hoped to be. Probably wasn't. If you wanted to see Tom Brady win in absolute dominant fashion and you wanted to see Patrick Mahomes get chased for his life, you probably had a good time. So, Patrick, sign us off.
Okay. We'll see you later. See you on Friday's show.
Peace out.